Hello guys and welcome back to another Minecraft pixel art. Today I'll be answering another request from FEchamper. This time it will be Nergal from Fire Emblem 7, or otherwise known as Fire Emblem in the North America area, and also Fire Emblem the Blazing Sword. It was the first Fire Emblem to be released in English, or just released in like North America, so a lot of people just called it Fire Emblem as it was the first for them, even though it was the 7th. Since I actually played this game multiple times, I know who this villain is. I've faced him multiple times. I know a little bit of history about him, but I'm not really going to go into that. I took a look at this sprite because I'd completely forgotten about most of the bosses, not really intending to do them, but I just had to do this one. I looked at the sprite and there were so many perfect colors I had for it. The only color that I'm not so sure about is probably the nether brick. That's the one color I'm a little iffy about. The rest of the colors though are fantastic for this sprite. Like the gray is, like clay is perfect for the bulk of this sprite. There's so many colors, that I can do, and I actually get to use orange. And I know I've used orange before in multiple sprites. However, I've gone back on a lot of my sprites recently, and I've fixed a lot of them, taking out orange from almost all of them, maybe even all of them. So here's a guy. I made a few improvements to him. I just want to show off these sprites because I recently changed them a bit. So I think I changed his sword a lot. I added some diamond. I added some ice, some of the packed ice. I changed his skin. I took the orange out and added this like, what was it? It's like, I think it's white stained clay. It's perfect for like a skin tone, so I changed him. Athos I changed a lot. I took out all the stone from his like robe, and he looks a lot better now. He looks just with more color. I changed his staff to be a little bit more detailed. His beard and his face though, they're pretty much exactly the same as they were. The only thing I did on him, on Nils here, was just his skin a bit. There's nothing much I could do about his cape. He's probably a little less detailed because I only had cyan. There's no really blue colors I could replace him with. Ninian I did a lot with. I replaced a lot of the gray with this the clay, the light gray with the clay, and I replaced all the stone with light gray. She looks a lot more brighter and it looks a lot nicer. I also changed the orange that she had in for, I think it's orange stained clay. It was a lot nicer, and again a little bit with her skin tone. I didn't do too much with him. I think I may have changed his axe. I changed the outline of his axe. Instead of using dark gray, I used the cyan stained clay. I really like the cyan stained clay. It works, like, I can use it instead of dark gray clay almost all the time. It's so perfect. I also changed his face a little bit, got rid of the orange, added yellow stained clay, which is actually a really nice orange. Strangely enough, it looks better as an orange. But yeah, I changed a few things on him. He looks a lot nicer now. I didn't do too much with her. I got rid of the orange. Again, exchanged it for this. Changed some of the skin tone with the white stained clay. Looks a lot nicer. Did a little bit with her hair. I don't know about the hair. I just wanted to add a bit of detail to it. I think it looks a little nicer. I don't mind it. With him, I added a little detail to his hair. Didn't do anything to the cape. Again, changed the skin tone, got rid of the orange. I changed the sword. So, just a few things on him, not too much. Same with Roy. Everything I did to his father, I did similar to him. Did I change it? No. Every once in a while, I've been changing the brown wool to brown stained clay because it looks a lot nicer. Over here, I did a lot of work too. There's only 4 of the sprites here that I changed. I didn't do too much to Ephraim. I changed the dark gray clay to the cyan. It looks a lot nicer. I changed his the skin up a lot using I think it's, I don't know what color. I think it's like a gray. Yeah, light gray stained clay and then the white stained clay. I didn't change any of the blue. None of these sprites I changed any of the blue, but I improved him a bit. He looks a little nicer. She looks a lot nicer. I did a bit of improvement. Added a bit of orange here and there to add some color to the legs. The sword I didn't do anything to, surprisingly. I looked at that sword, I'm like, yeah, I can change that sword, but that's that's as it is. I couldn't do anything to it to make it look any better. I added some wood textures instead of all brown, added some yellow stained clay along with the yellow, changed the skin. This one looks a lot more detailed now. It looks a lot nicer than it did before. I don't think I really did much to her. I think I changed the orange wool to orange stained clay, and I changed her hair. I didn't do anything to the wings because I couldn't be bothered to. It was just, I didn't really want to. Otherwise, it was just her skin, her hair, and I think I changed that a bit. So not much was done to Mer. And then Joshua. There wasn't too much I could do with Joshua. A few things on his skin. I think I eliminated all the orange, changed out the brown wool for brown clay. I fixed his sword, got rid of the blue. It looks a lot nicer now. So that's all I did. That's all I edited. That's what I've been doing. That's what I did all last night. Just, you know, I figured with all these new colors and stuff, I can go back and fix these sprites, and I think all sprites in the future now will be a lot more detailed, and I'll be a lot more skilled with them. So I think the biggest change out of all of them was Athos. He looks so much nicer now that he doesn't just have like a grayish cape. Like, he looks so much nicer with that. He's definitely the biggest change. Like, everything about him changed. Like, every block, except for his beard. That was all that didn't change. Everything else changed about him, so he was the biggest change. Okay, so I guess we should get back to Nergal. I'm gonna continue him here because I don't really want to put him next to these guys, because these are like the good guys and these are like the bad guys, so I figured I'd keep them separate. Plus, he's a really big sprite, so I figured I'd keep the bigger sprites away from the smaller sprites. Even though it would be kind of cool to have him next to Athos, but that is not possible, so. Colors. I think I should probably go over them. Black, dark gray, oops. Dark stained clay as usual. I really like this stuff. We got some stone, some clay. Again, the clay will be perfect. The white in this sprite, there's 1 pixel. And it's his eye. There's a single pixel. That's it. Then there's yellow. I really like using yellow in sprites. I think yellow and orange and stuff like this are very creative colors, and they make the sprite look really nice. I don't get to use orange too often. I know I've used it in the past, but it just, whenever I used it before, it just wasn't accurate. This time, orange is very accurate to this sprite. It's a very nice, it's just such a nice bright color. It's not using it for a peach color. I'm actually using it for an orange color. This color I'm using less as a yellow, more of a stained clay here. Oh, it's thundering too. Okay, see ya. So I'm using it more of a darker orange. There isn't too much of it, but I figured I'd add just a little more detail than I could. The red is red. There's not much to it. It's on his face. There's a bit on his robe, so that's okay. And then there's some brown. There's only a little bit of brown. There isn't too much of it, so. And it is the best I could do. And then there's this. This is the one color I'm worried about, the dark red, the nether brick. It's the one color I'm not too sure about, but I'll have to deal with it. Anyway, I'm going to build this sprite. Just a bit of a calculation. So I left this here, 23. Okay. I left it on the black one because there's 23 black pixels at the very bottom, just so I could remember that. I have a little, I've got another one there, but I'm not going to go into that this episode. Okay, well, we've gone through all the sprites. We've gone through all the colors. Now I can begin building. I'll see you guys when it's done. done, and I'm already seeing something that probably should be a little different. I think that the dark gray and the clay should be switched around. So I'm gonna do that quickly off camera because there's a lot to do. So I'll be right back. Let me just fix that quickly. I'm not gonna bother showing that on camera. So it needs to be done. I'll fix that and we'll try it again. Okay, I fixed it. Yeah, it was just a small mix-up. The dark gray, I just realized the outer is a darker gray than like certain details like that there or that or things like that. So it was a darker color, so I just mixed the two up. You know, no big deal. This sprite looks amazing. Like, there's so many parts of it that are just awesome. The dark red clay actually doesn't look that bad. It actually looks pretty good with the sprite. That was the only color I was really worried about. It's the only one that freaked me out a bit, but it looks awesome. That orange there is just, it's perfect. Like, it has just a little bit of difference that you can tell it apart, you know. I probably didn't even need to add that. I probably could have just used orange and no one would have ever noticed, but I just needed to add that little bit of detail, you know. Just like his sprite had a pixel or a piece of wool for every colored pixel, so did this one. This one had there was no pixel, no different color that I replaced with a similar color. Every color had its piece. So it looks awesome. I really like this sprite. Like, when I saw this sprite, I was thinking this is going to be a cool sprite, no doubt about it. I don't have any negative comments about this sprite. I mean, I screwed up a little bit with the gray, but now that it's fixed, it looks amazing. The red, the orange, the yellow, it all goes together perfectly. The clay is the perfect shade. Like, there's no color that could have gotten better. Even the stone looks okay on the sprite. And even the color that I thought would screw up the whole thing, or, you know, the one color that I thought wouldn't look good, looks good. The one time that nether brick actually looks good on a sprite. It's incredible. This is probably one of my best sprites. And the only reason I like this sprite better than the king there is because there's no wood in this sprite. There's no wood at all. This is an amazing sprite, but it's just the wood and certain colors that make it a little bit worse. This is the most accurate sprite out of any sprite I've ever made. Probably my best one yet. It's incredible. Anyway, that's it for this pixel art video. I have another one planned here, and looks like I might have to move these over a bit. I didn't know how close or how far the sprite would be, but I have one planned. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to go through with it. We'll see, but I'm not going to say who it is just yet. Either way, this was a successful sprite and probably one of my best ones yet. I like this one a lot. So that's it. If you liked the video, press the like button. You can comment down in the description what you think of the sprite, and if you like my channel, please press the subscribe button because I do plan to do more of these if I can. Okay, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next pixel art. See you guys next time.